So this is a format, a rough, which I mean all these things I read from my client and I downloaded these tools from network. Okay. So charter, this is the format for your charter.
Formats I
Templates.
will be able to get from the person. There are lots of formats.
Hundreds and thousands of things you get. So what you need to do is you need to customize them, you need to make some changes. So this is a charter. So what all charter will include, I mean you must highlight these things that justification, the project and the strategic objective, description of the product, final deliverables, internal deliverables, historical information, key stakeholders, assumptions, restrictions, project manager, deliverable information and all these things. Okay, so this will become the guiding information, and what happens is when you start documenting, people will start accepting that. And they know that once it is documented, they won't be able to deviate from there or slip from there, because then it becomes visible to all. Your director will ask, okay, when you had agreed on everything, when it is agreed upon, signed up by all, who is creating the problem? And you will be able to pinpoint the person, and that he will feel the heat, and everyone will start following the processes there. So this is the example of your charter. Then after the charter, you get into your planning, and immediately you will have to work as your stakeholder register. Before you plan anything, first is you need to identify who are the people, because it is the people, eventually it is the people who are going to impact on all the estimations you do, all the planning you do. They are the people who are either going to accept it or reject it. They are the people who are going to have a say whether we should use this or not. So do your stakeholder management plan and prepare your stakeholder register, do the stakeholder analysis and stakeholder requirement, communication requirement analysis also. Who are the people and what kind of communication requirement they have, and make a plan for that, and who will be doing that is your project manager. Project scope statement, it is a one-time effort and you need to come up with a scope statement. Scope statement is looking like this.
Only that one number.
940 831 040.
Nishan, ये template चाहिए हाँ.
Yeah, I will give you all this. Where is the scope statement gone? Project. Yeah, project scope statement. So if you look at the project scope statement, it actually is a detailed one. Your objective, what is the in scope, okay, and then you have what is out scope, what are the requirements, what are the boundaries, deliverables, internal, external, then your product acceptance criteria, your constraints and assumptions, high level, then your initially identified risk, schedule milestone, all the high level milestone, then your initial project organization, funding limitations and approval requirement. You can add or remove any information that you want, but more or less this is enough for any standard project. Then after that you come up with your decomposition of deliverables, work breakdown structure. So work breakdown structure, you need not to create a diagram or put some graphical thing. You can simply take the Excel sheet, and it actually, in case if you don't use any MS project tool, so what you can do is
Restructure, grouping.
I'll show you. Yeah, grouping you can do. Let me show you that. So this actually is a complete governance package for one of our client in China and Hong Kong. So this is all you can do. So the activities that you see in pink, that is actually related to the project management plan. Okay, all the planning activities. So you can use this as a template. So whatever new project you have, you will have some activities related to the project management area. Then you will have the activities related to subject to this, specific project. So all the activities in blue that you see are actually specific to the project, specific to the functional requirement, and this is about your project requirement. And do the indentation like this. So create the activity. So your project initiation, project plan, and then project plan, you have scope management plan and roles and responsibilities, define tasks. You keep on indenting that and you will know the activities. So this is your activity. Create scope definition, create scope statement, create WBS. So you will add a duration for all this. If you are using MS Project, the life will definitely become very easy for you. Do you use MS Project, ma'am?
Yes, spreadsheet,
Yeah. So you will have to use MS Project for that. And then after your WBS, you come up with your schedule development, where you look at the, say, so there is a difference actually. When I said you can merge the process of create WBS and define activities, when you define activities and you, before you save the baseline, you must consider all these factors, the duration for each activity. I'm not saying the estimation, but finalization of that. Dependencies, relationship among the activities, and activity attributes. Activity attributes are also importantly, significantly important. Then you prepare on your quality management plan. Okay, quality management plan, cost management. Do you do the cost management also? Normally it is not. Construction also it is done, but there is a different team actually which normally does the cost management. If at all you have to do that, you will have to create your entire cost management plan also. So what you do is you take the same activities, same the schedule development, same structure that we have, and here you add one more field and say estimated cost. You estimate the cost of raw material. You can add 3 fields here. You can estimate the cost of raw material. You can estimate the cost of equipment. Let's say if you have to hire the crane or earth mower or excavator or the cement mixer, for how many hours you need, what is the cost of hiring that for 1 hour. And then the cost of resources, human resources which are working on that. And you add to that, and then you keep some amount of admin overhead to that, some amount of reserve or contingency fund for that, and finance your cost plan. This is your quality management plan. What you need to identify is quality matrix, quality checklist, process improvement plan, and audit plan. That what are the matrix, how you are going to check the quality. So tomorrow someone should not pop up from any nook and corner and say the product is not performing to that level. Who had asked us to meet that standard? That is one thing. Then your quality checklist. What are the steps you will take to ensure that the product meets the quality standard? Then your process improvement plan, if you need to review any process, make some changes to the processes, and then the audit plan, how and when and who will do the audit. Your HR management plan, roles and responsibilities are very important. Even if you are not able to link it to the specific resources, fine, but description, a clear description of roles and responsibilities with RESI is very, very important, and this RESI must be with respect to deliverables, not the rules. Then communication management plan. This is very crucial. Who is the sender, receiver, the scope of communication, technology, methods, and if you look at the template here, your communication management plan, what type of communication, description, frequency, format, owner. This is customized for specifically for that customer, but you can add fields here. That who are the audience needed, who are the optional, who are the required one. That is also important. Sometimes people will say, oh, it's a regular meeting, I'll skip that. No, if it is a compulsory, if it is mandatory, if you don't attend it, it will be escalated. You can add those fields here. Then your audit report, periodical basis. Audit report is, okay, the work that you have identified to be done. You need not to wait for your audit team or statutory audit to come and do that for you. You, within your organization, within your project team, you will check that the processes that you have identified, whether they are being followed or not. You may have to do the planned audit, you may have to do the random audit.
Internal audit.
Internal. Okay. As a project manager, you need not to hire any resources for that, but you can also do that for yourself, just to check whether the team is following that or not. Okay. Then your project progress report, work completed against the plan. This is again a part of your monitoring and controlling, and your inspection, product testing. I'm sure you must be doing all these activities, but if there is no structure, if there is no proper documentation or template for that, you have to start using that, and then your QC report and this root cause analysis. So this becomes important. I have not seen many companies having a proper and structured approach towards their failure or NCR, or in case if they are getting non-conformance report. So start doing the root cause analysis, and then your acceptance report. Acceptance report, we talked about the deliverables, WBS. WBS is going to give you the list of all the deliverables. Each and every deliverable must be accepted, if not by the customer, then by the sponsor. Okay, they must say that yes, this deliverable is completed and I accept it is completed, or I confirm that, or I approve that. You'll have to maintain a list of all those, and then your installation report, it is not for you, but lessons learned document. So this is a very simple and high level flow which will not put too much of pressure on the project performing organization also, in case if there are not many processes, or the processes are there but they are not following it. Because right from the day one, if you put pressure on the people that you are preparing all the documents, they are going to retaliate. So if you have to bring in a change, do it slowly. जोर का झटका धीरे से लगे. ठीक है? So this is a way to give them this झटका धीरे धीरे. So do you think this will be useful? Okay. I can share this with you along with all the templates that we have.
I have already shared the email with you with all the.
Okay, great. So I will respond to that, and I will respond to that along with my address to my Google group. You can join it there, because it's a good way to stay connected. In case if you have any questions or something, you can post
Your
it in the
email
forum.
ID is wrong. I typed in yahoo.com. Z Amit@yahoo.com.
Z again Z.
Clear? So that is about your standard flow and the steps that you should take. And once you get this email, you will be able to review that. And I have this end-to-end flow also in the same file, which you can go through, and you can make changes as appropriate. So what are the processes you're talking about? Project definition, project charter, artifact recorder. So these are the processes actually from PMBOK, which are the bare minimum necessities actually. And what are the associated documents you will have? So when you have project definition, you have project statement of work. Then project charter, it will have two documents: project charter document and business case also. Then your identify stakeholder will have your stakeholder register, RACI matrix. Scope definition will have your scope management plan, scope statement, WBS, roles and responsibilities. This is the process, and your project roles, responsibilities, RACI matrix. Develop project schedule is your detailed activity list, dependencies, what format you should use, what all content you will have there. So a detail of all the key processes that we have. Is it fine? So I will send this to you all, and you can start using it the way you want. You can modify it, you can update it, you can change it, you can add some processes, you can remove some processes from there. So now we come to the last part of it, how to prepare for the exam. So how many of you are planning to take this exam in next 3 months time? 3 months. And what about you? 6 months, 1 year? What about you, sir?
After 2 months.
After 2 months. Okay. So important point to consider is, first thing you have to do is,
Means after 2 months I will start real practice.
after 2 months you will start practicing it, and then you will decide when to go for it. Okay. Now we will make project. So when to do this exam, how to do this exam. So first is, you need to go and register for PMI. First you PMP exam. For that, I would strongly recommend first you take the PMI membership, because when you become PMI member, then the fees, the membership fee is $139, and once you take the membership, the PMP fees is $405. So this is your 544. So you will have saving of $11. I mean, it may not look like a significant amount, but you get lot of additional benefits by taking the PMI membership, like access to some of the free resources and free content, and PMBOK anyway free copy you're going to get when you apply for the examination. Whether by taking membership or directly. If you do not want to take the membership, then you will have to pay $555. Okay. So suppose, what is the day today?
30th
30th April.
30th April is, today is the 30th April. So suppose you take the membership today and then you start filling up the examination form, because examination form, as I told you, that you have to contact all those people who can vouch, who can certify that yes, you worked on this project, because if your application is picked up for audit, they will have to certify that. So I am assuming that on 30th of April you are starting this process. You will fill up the form, and I am assuming, I am taking the worst case scenario, that your application is picked up for audit. It will take some 5 days for you to prepare all the documents and everything, and then you submit. And so when you apply, you will have to use your credit card to make the payment, and then you will receive a mail from within 5 days time, maximum 5 business days, that either your applications is verified, credentials are verified, or they will say your application is picked up for audit. If it is picked up for audit, it will take additional 20 to 25 business days. Okay, you will have to provide all the information that PMI is going to tell you. So PMI is going to tell you all the entire process and all the details that they need. It's a simple thing, not a complex thing. The only challenge is you have to contact those people and get it filled or approved by them. The process may change depending on the case, subject to subject, case to case basis. The process of audit may change. So suppose your application was picked up for audit, and after all the formalities, on 1st of May, no, not 1st June, you receive a mail from PMI. You receive a mail from PMI on 1st of June that your application is accepted. Now please go and block your date with the Prometric Center, and they will send you a link. Okay. So what happens is, from this date, you will have exactly 1 year's time till 31st May 2015 to clear the exam. The day you receive email from PMI with a link saying that your application is accepted, please go and block your date and take the exam. You will have exactly 365 days from that day to take the exam. Okay. In case if you do not, you are not able to fulfill that audit requirement, some reason application gets rejected, then what will happen is you will get a mail again informing them, and they will deduct $100 as a processing fee and refund examination fee only, not the membership, but only the examination. So from here they will deduct $100 and they will refund $305 to you. Fine? Okay. So you have received the mail, I am assuming, and now you need to block the examination date. So choose the date very carefully. You will be given a link to the Prometric site. When you go there, you will see a calendar, and each day has 2 or 3 slots. Normally 2 slots, morning or evening. So choose whatever you want. I would suggest take the early morning slot. That is always better. And when you are selecting the date, make sure you are able to study for minimum, with your level of experience and exposure to the project management. I would suggest you study minimum 150 to 180 hours. And for you, I would suggest you double those hours, because you do not have any practical exposure to the topics to this. So for you, I would suggest minimum 300 hours of studies. Okay. So block the date accordingly. Suppose you are able to spend almost 2 hours every day. So you can block a date for 3 months from then. So you are saying June, July, August, and you block the date for 1st of September 2014. You block the date. And another point that you have to consider while blocking the date is, make sure when you go for the exam, the momentum of studies is extremely high, very high. You should not think it like this, okay, so my examination is also on 1st of September and I am traveling to US. I have to travel, so I will finish my preparation by 15th August. and then 16th I'm going to US. I'll come back on 25th. In 5 days I'll refresh it and go for the exam on 1st September. You do that, the probability of failing the exam will increase. At least last 15 days, no break in the momentum. Clear? So block it accordingly and block it judicially. Do not push this date, because in case if you are not able to clear in the first scope, you need to keep some scope for second attempt. But of course, going by the leadership guidelines, that plan B, it means people who work for plan B, people who work keeping plan B in mind, the probability of them succeeding in the plan A is actually pretty less. So if you want to go by that approach, fine, you can go now, whatever it is, but my suggestion is keep some scope. Okay. So block this date and start preparing. Now the point comes, what all you should study and how you should study. If you start reading from PMBOK, it may not sound very interesting to you. It may not generate that kind of interest in you. So what you do is, you buy that book which I suggested, either Andy Grove or Head First or Kim Herman, okay, whatever book. Omkar has promised you any book or something? Are they going to get anything?
We are not sure.
Okay, so buy any of this book. Head First is a very good book. I think it is available from some 500 rupees. You buy that book and read the chapter. The language that they use is quite easy. Read the chapter, and at the end of each chapter they have given some 25 questions. So what you do is, first time read the entire book. Don't even look at the questions. Just read the content. Okay, thoroughly. Finish the book, start again. Read the chapter again, read everything again, and then take those 25 questions, and do not mark anything on the book. Take a notepad and write down for each question what is the correct answer. Option A or B or C or D. And then at the end of the book the answers are given. After you have completed 25, match your answer with the one which is given in the back. Do not even try to look at the explanation of that answer. No. Just check what is right and what is not. Whatever mistakes you make, now you read the book again and try to figure out yourself that why it is not right. Isn't it? If you don't understand it, then you pick up PMBOK and read that specific topic. When you are reading PMBOK with an objective, you will find it very interesting. Okay? Do this for all the 10-11 chapters, and once you have completed this, then what you do is, you take up those 200 questions which are given in the end of the book. So Head First has 20 or 25 questions at the end of each chapter, and then 200 questions at the end of the entire book. Then you take up those 200 questions and go through the questions and use the same approach to write down the appropriate answer in your notepad, and do that in one sitting. Don't say that, okay, I'll do 25 now, 30 now, or rest I'll do tomorrow. No. Do those entire 400 questions in one sitting and write down the time also, how much time you spent. Not on each question, but the overall. What time you started, what time you are ending. It may take 5 hours, it may take 6 hours also, but do that in one sitting. And use the same approach, check the answers, what is right and what is not right. Now is the time you start reading PMBOK. Please remember one thing, there is no alternative to PMBOK. There is no book which can substitute the PMBOK. No. You will have to read PMBOK, entire PMBOK, minimum once. My recommendation is twice, but minimum is once. And when you read with this objective, that the topics which are not clear to you, the PMBOK becomes very interesting. If you read it without any objective, if you straight away go home and start reading PMBOK, it is going to act like a sleep-inducing tool. If you are not able to sleep, start reading PMBOK, you'll fall asleep.
I tried that yesterday. It worked.
It worked? Sleep-inducing? Yes. That is because when you try to read it without any objective, that is how it is going to happen. It used to happen with me also. So, out of the 3 months, your 2 months will be gone like this, or let's say 2.5 months. At end of, let's say, 15th or by 15th August, You must have read this book at least twice or thrice, Headman, and PMBOK minimum once. Last 15 days, your focus now should shift to mock questions. Go online, you'll find lots of questions, hundreds, thousands of questions there. Take the mock test. Sorry, there are some applications available, online simulation applications. You can buy them. You can go to some website, there is some freeware available, or you don't need to download the tool, you can actually buy that package on the website itself. They will create you give you the same kind of environment and simulator that you get in the PMP examination. Use that. Do that, take the questions, and they actually at the end of this test, they give you the detailed analysis and detailed report also, that how did you fare in each of the knowledge area. They will give you the detail of each question there and what was right, what was not right. And for those, by this time, you will definitely will know your weak areas. And for weak areas, the single source of truth will be your PMBOK. You can look for some examples, some case studies online in case if you want. If you have any doubt, you can contact me also. If you are not able to understand any particular topic, I will definitely suggest some content, some material at that time. But last 15 days should always be focusing on simulations. The day you start scoring more than 90% in simulation, that day you should think that you are ready for PMP exam. Or if you are not scoring it, that it means you need to study more, you need to read PMBOK, you need to study PMBOK. And when I say read PMBOK, do not try to memorize the topic. I had been telling you from day one, memorizing is not the key. If you think that okay, you can memorize everything and you can go and clear the exam, no. People who have done that, they have failed. Understanding the concept and the logic is important. That is why I was giving you all the examples from all the nooks and corners of the world, and in the simplest form so you can understand the concept. Do not, remember, you cannot question PMI. You cannot question PMBOK. You can never say that this is how I do in my organization. PMI is suggesting some other way. No. What PMI is saying, that is the way the work should be done. You are doing it other way. Okay? Because that is a collection of best practices. And your focus is to clear the PMP examination. PMI is not concerned what industry you are from, which company you work for, what kind of environment you have. They will give you the questions from all the areas. But remember the same thing. If you have bought a BMW and you go to learn this driving, and there you say, no, I don't want to learn in Maruti Swift, teach me in BMW only. That person will say, sir, if you know how to handle the steering, if you know how to keep a sync between your clutch, accelerator and brake, and you know how to and when to change the gear, you can drive any car in this world. The same approach applies on project management also. Don't think that this question is not for my industry. Why should I do that? I will not do that. PMI is wrong. No. They are checking your project management common sense, project management general knowledge. There is only one condition. There is PMI way or highway. The day you start scoring 90%, you will feel that okay, you are ready for the examination. Though the pass percentage in PMP exam is 61, but still the level of question that you are going to get is much higher than what you get in this mock test or mock questions. Okay, you will have the opportunity to reschedule the exam if you do it before 30 days, before let's say 1st of August, it is free. But after 1st August or within 30 days of the examination date, you will have to pay $70 of rescheduling fee. Last 48 hours, you cannot reschedule. Even if you want to do that, it will be considered as no-show. In case of no-show, it will be considered as one attempt which is gone, and then you will have remaining 9 months time to reappear for the examination by paying a fees of $275 if you are a member. If you are not a member, it will be $375. And that you can do only after a gap of 30 days. Suppose you missed it, you couldn't go there, you cannot reschedule it or you cannot schedule the next attempt immediately after that. No, there has to be a gap of minimum 30 days in between. Okay. Now the day comes when you have to go for the examination. Of course, you all have gone through that stage that you know how to prepare for the exam. You should not take tension and all these things and blah blah blah. Everyone will give you gyan on that. Just chill out, relax. So I will not get into that part. So the day comes when you have to go for the exam. Please remember you are carrying minimum cash or the cards in your wallet. Okay, and you have to carry a proof of ID. That could be your passport, DL or PAN card, and the email that you received from PMI and Prometric confirming your examination date. So you will go to the Prometric center. I'm not sure if Ahmedabad has a Prometric center for PMP exam. If not, you may have to travel to Mumbai.
It is there, I think you was telling me.
For PM,
Omkar
see,
was telling us that it is there. Where we don't know.
see that you can check with him. Frankly speaking, I'm not aware of it. There cannot be multiple centers in a city. There will be only one center in a city which will be authorized to conduct PMP examination. So when you go for the examination, let's say this is your premises, so you will be frisked on the gate and you will have to deposit all your helmet, your keys, your mobile phone, your wallet, everything outside the premises. So you should not have any thought processing on, oh, I'm carrying so many cards in my wallet, I have so much of cash, what will happen to that? Try to keep the distractions as low as possible. Beyond this point, you will be allowed to take only some edibles, some water, if you have some preferences, and your proof of ID and those emails. Print out, that's all. No pen, no paper, nothing allowed inside. Then you will get inside, you can take your food. I would strongly suggest you carry apple, 1 or 2 apples and 1 or 2 bars of chocolate, because that will give you instant energy. It's a 4-hour long exam, you need energy. Okay, so take that with you. Other is your choice. Don't take that Red Bull, because if you are not used to it, it will really give you wings. Okay, so then you will go and get inside. You will see the coordinator here in one corner or wherever it is. I'm just trying to create that map in your mind that how it will happen, what are the levels. You will give him, show him your ID and the email and everything, and he will immediately allocate a seat for you. Then there is going to be one cabin here, glass door cabin. You get inside there. See, the reason I'm saying, because these requirements are by PMI. So no matter what is the layout, they will have to follow the same process. This has to be a glass door, glass cabin. You will go inside and then you will see some cubicles there. Okay, and he will take you to one of the cube and you will be sitting there. When you go there, he will give you a pencil or pen, whatever it is, and a writing pad. You can take as many as writing pads as you want, depending on the requirement, like in examination you used to have. What you should do is, the moment you reach inside, first of all, write down all the formulas that you remember. Even before you start anything, even before you touch your computer, write down the formulas here. Write down all the formulas for your earned value. Write down all the formulas for your critical path. Because when you see the question, that time you may be nervous. Because of the pressure and the anxiety, you may forget the formula. You will have to spend a lot of time in recalling those formulas. So this is a standard practice which people follow in all the examination. This is something you should do it here also. Write down the formula. Then there will be a 15 minutes tutorial in the computer which will tell you how to scroll through that PMP examination application. Okay. Timer has not started yet. After you complete your tutorial, then either you can start it or you can call the coordinator. He will start that PMP exam application. The moment he starts it, this is the screen you are going to get. Now I am going to clear this. So this is a screen you are going to get there. Suppose this is your computer. You will have this application running on the full screen. You will not be able to access anything other than this application and the soft calculator. You will be given access to the calculator. So need not to worry about this calculation also. This will have some buttons here. Let's say forward, backward, question, current question number, go to the question number, state the question number, flag this question, or mark this for review, or we'll have one more button, jump to the question number or jump to the mark question or something like that. Each screen will have one question and you will have 4 radio buttons, 4 options for that. You will have to choose any one of that. Important point, throughout this time, 4 hours and 15 minutes when you are in the classroom, do not even try to look into what others are doing. Because the entire event is recorded and it is a condition, it is a guideline of PMI that they will have to retain this recording for a certain period of time, and in between they can do the random audit. When they do the audit, they will come and they will check the recording randomly, and suppose you were peeping into some other's computer and you are the unfortunate one that PMI comes for audit and they ask to run the clipping from exactly the same point of view and they saw you peeping into the computer, they will immediately be able to figure out who the person is, and even if you had cleared the examination 4 months back, they will still cancel your certification and you will be blacklisted. You will never be able to participate in any of the PMI event unless you change your entire identity. Okay, so be careful with that. PMI is very particular about integrity issues. So question comes, you will have to start taking the answer. What you will get is out of 4 hours means 240 minutes. You will have approximately 1 minute and 5 seconds for each question, not more than that. Because 200 questions in 240 minutes, and you will have to take some breaks also. And you will have to keep some time because there will be some questions which will be really complicated. You may spend 1.5 minutes also in that. So whenever you feel the question is very long, what is the trick I suggested?
Start reading from there.
Correct. Start reading from end. Read the last sentence first. If you are lucky, the question will be there in the last sentence only. If it is not there, still you are lucky. You should consider yourself as lucky. But then you will know that when you have to read that entire paragraph type question, 15-20 lines of question, you will know what is the question, and to answer the question, what is the information you need, and you will be able to pinpoint that information in the question. Most of the time, there will be a lot of noise. What is noise?
Unwanted things.
Unwanted information. So you will have to filter out the unwanted and pick up the wanted. If you read the last sentence, you will be able to save a lot of time. There will be 4 options and only one of them will be the correct answer. There is no negative marking. Okay. Don't even think that okay, this can be the pre-test question or something. The pre-test question and the real final marking question is only for your information to tell you. Do not even let that thought come into your mind that okay, this may be the pre-test question also. Even if I skip, there are other questions which I can work. No. For you, all the 200 questions are same, equal.
The pre-test marking will not be considered.
No. It will not be added to your final score.
But why they do that? Because we are attempting so many questions. That's
I gave you the reason. I told you the reason that before these questions are added to the final mark for the final marking, what PMI see is how tough or difficult or easy the questions are. Suppose they added this to the question paper for 200 people and all 200 people failed to answer that question. They will say, okay, this is probably too difficult. They will not add it to the final marking questions. Suppose all 200 people attended it and they got the right answer, they'll say, okay, this is too easy. So they will have some mechanism, what algorithm they use, what approach they use, no one knows that. No one outside the circle knows that. Okay? But you will have to take all the 200 questions with the same level of seriousness.
60% is considering those
61%? No. So out of 200, 175 are the final marking questions, and you will have to score 106 questions out of that 175. You will have to get 106 questions right Out of those,
Total is 175 questions.
200.
total is 200 questions.
Okay, 25 is your
200
discounted
questions, 25 questions are the pre-test questions. Okay, so the remaining final is 175. Out of 175, you need to get 106 right. Clear? Okay. So now about the answer. As you have seen also in this few questions that we had at the end of each of the chapter. Sometimes you will feel that this question is not from PMBOK. It may not be from the PMBOK because I told you only 65 to 70% questions will be coming from PMBOK. Rest 30 can be from outside the wider body of knowledge because PMBOK guide covers only 70% or 75% of your PMBOK, project management body of knowledge. Then they will check your project management common sense. They will check your integrity and ethics. They will check your project management general knowledge. They will check your interpersonal skills and general communication skills, isn't it? Everything will be there in the question. Do not even try to think that okay, if it is from this area or from that area. No, take the question and just remember one thing. What is PMI way? Whatever way you are using in your real life, just simply forget that now. From now till the examination date, forget everything. Most important, I told you, unlearn and then learn. Clean the slate first and absolutely clean and start from fresh. And that's why you will have the better prospects then. Because for you, the entire learning will be fresh only. Clear? After you have read the questions, you know there are 4 options. Stick to what PMI says, what is the process, and you will see sometime all the 4 options are right, and then choose a proper sequence and then select the correct answer. Sometimes it may also happen that you may not be able to find the right answer, then start eliminating the answers which are not right. And what is left in the last is your correct answer. Make sure you are keeping an eye on the time. If one question is confusing and taking more time, don't waste time on that. Mark it for review, flag it, mark it for review later, and move on to the next question. But before you mark it for the review and go to the next question, please select any of the option whatever you feel is appropriate. What is the most appropriate answer that you feel is? Because it may not happen, it may happen that you will not get the time or chance to come back to that question again. Depends. If you are not able to come back to the question again, at least you would have selected something, and who knows, that can be the right answer also. So do not mark it or flag it or move ahead without attempting or without selecting any of the option.
Can we change that option?
Yes, you can change that anytime. So what you do is, suppose this is the option is flag for review or mark for review later. Mark for review. And you completed the entire question in 3.5 hours time. You have half an hour left. Now in half an hour, you want to review all the questions that you marked for. So there will again be an option that review the marked question. So it will take you through all those questions one by one, which you had marked for review. Or you will have the option of jumping straight away to the question, if you remember the question number. Okay. So go to that question, read that, and then if you feel that you need to change the option, you can do that. Within the 4 hours time, you can do anything and everything. Then, and before you start the examination, make a strategy that after every 75 questions, you will take a break. Do first set of 75 questions, take a break. The clock will be ticking. You may have to take the bio break. Keep yourself hydrated. Keeping hydrated is very important. Keep yourself hydrated. Have a lot of vitamin C before that. Take break after 75 questions. Even if you don't feel like taking the bio break, take that. Go there, have the apple, bar of chocolate, take the bio break within 5-6 minutes, get freshened up, recharge, come back, do remaining 75 questions. After you've done 150 questions, take another round of break, 5 minutes. So that 10 minutes look like you're wasting 10 or 15 precious minutes, but those 10-15 minutes are very, very important for the success of those, to get success in the PMP exam. And in third round, do your 50 questions. Yes, sir.
Break is calculated in 400 minutes.
Yes, the clock once started will not stop. It will keep on ticking. Okay. At end of 4 hours, if you have not submitted the application, it will auto submit. It will close automatically. And then you will have the longest minute of your life processing or analyzing your result, and you will immediately within a minute you will get the result. You will say congratulations, or if you are unlucky you will say sorry.
We will get the result immediately
You will get the result immediately within a minute's time.
after submission.
After submission, the moment you, there would be a button here, submit. The moment you submit, it will ask for confirmation, and when you confirm it, it will process the result then and there, and it will give you the result. Then you will come out to the coordinator. He will give you a printout of the provisional certificate that yes, you have cleared that. And for each process group, how you perform, it will give you the grading, whether you were above proficient, below proficient, or moderate proficient. So you need to score moderate proficient or above proficient in minimum 4. Sorry?
I didn't understand that.
There are 3 grades. Below proficient is fail. So what is the algorithm? So normally to keep the target, you have to pass all the 5 process groups. It is not that you have failed in 1, failed in 2 and passed in, in 2 you are scoring 30%, and remaining 3 you are scoring 90%. No.
All 60% in all.
Yes. Clear? And after that, within 24 hours, you will get a mail from PMI congratulating and again giving you the breakup. Within 20 to 25 business days, you will get the hard copy of your certificate from PMI. So the day you become PMI, let's say 1st September you cleared your PMI, PMP. Now you will be PMI certified for 3 years till 31st of August 2017. This certificate will be valid for 3 years. In 3 years time, you will have to accumulate 60 PDOs. PDOs are called as professional development units. So there are certain activities which you can do which will give you the PDOs. You can participate in some PMI event and conferences. Each 1 hour spent in the project management activity is going to give you 1 PDO. There are
That is
certain
something we spend in routine, like the work
no,
that we do.
but those trainings or the events will have to be authorized and certified by PMI. Okay, you can do that. Like you can do some trainings. You can join some organization for training. You can attend some conferences or events which are organized by PMI, and there you will get a certificate at out of it. So you need to go to your pmi.org website, and when you become a PMP, you will be given PMP ID. Use that ID and your password to log in there, and the moment you log in, you will see the dashboard and it will tell you you are a PMP in good strength, and when is the day it is going to expire, and there is an option here that that add PDOs. So click on that, and then it will give you certain options that how did you achieve or how did you earn those PDOs, by attending some training or seminars, attending some event, by imparting some training, delivering some knowledge or somewhere. Like each training that I am doing right now, it is giving me 35 PDOs. Okay, so you claim that and you will have to have 60 PDOs in 3 years time. So at end of 3rd year, you will have to renew your certification by paying $150 as a renewal fee if you are not a PMI member. If you are a PMI member, it will become $120. So you need to have 60 PDOs plus $150 for renewal. If you fail to do any of this or both of this, your PMP certification will be suspended for 1 year. You can always renew that within that suspension time by submitting the PDOs, obtaining the PDOs and paying the fee. But if you fail to do that in that 4th year or that during the suspension period, you cross a date, then you will have to start the process from scratch. From the beginning, attend the training, 4 days training, fill up the form, submit for the, apply for the examination, take the examination again. So if you do not want to get into that cycle again, remember to earn your PDOs. And suppose 2017 is your renewal date. You did lot of activities in the last year, and instead of 60 you ended up earning 90 PDOs. Then you can carry forward only 18 PDOs to the next cycle. So the next year, instead of 60, you will have to earn only 42 PDOs. You cannot carry forward more than 18 PDOs. If that was the case, I probably would have earned PDO for my entire life. Here?
What about the preparation in last 2 days? Like before giving exam, what should we refer?
Last 2 days, PMBOK. Just PMBOK. The single source of truth, single source of knowledge, PMBOK. Mock test, PMBOK. Mock test, PMBOK. Mock test, PMBOK. And most importantly, you will find a lot of people, you will meet a lot of people who have cleared the PMP examination. I am not questioning their capabilities, I am not judging their knowledge, I am not saying anything in favor or against them. But you do not change your direction or approach just by someone cleared the exam and someone is saying something. No. For you, if you have any doubt or any information that you need, which you feel that you are not able to get it from all the sources you have, you can always write a mail to info@pmi.org. PMI will acknowledge that mail, and no matter how small or insignificant your query is, but they definitely respond within the given timeline. You may get a response in 1 day's time, you may get it in 4 days' time, but you will get a response. Else, you contact the people who are not authorized. PMI doesn't authorize anyone, but who you feel are expert and who know about, who belong to this trade and profession. Do not just try to get in touch with anyone who has done the PMP, because you don't know how they prepared. There is a good ratio of people who probably cleared it by fluke. I was shocked to see one gentleman. I was doing one MS project workshop. There was a gentleman who came and who was a PMP certified, and he was asking questions, so basic questions, that I actually was tempted to ask that sir, I mean, didn't you read all these things while preparing the PMP examination? And then he said, actually I had studied that, but it's a long time, so I forgot. It means it is evident that he cleared it by fluke. Okay, so find the right source of information. Clear? Download this PMP handbook from pmi.org website. I will respond to your mail with that link, and you can download that, and that will give you the in and out, inside, complete in and out of the entire process. What are the do's, what are the don'ts, how you should make the payment for your audit, what are the requisites you will have, or what are the form you need to fill. Everything is given in detail. So that is all about the entire process of preparation and the cycle.
So is it possible to pay this fees using another
No.
credit card?
You can either send a DD to the PMI office, or you have to use the international. International means, see, these days most of the bank give you the international credit card. Okay, unless you are specifically asked for it that it is an Indian one.
So that is something is okay, you can use some other person's credit card.
Or if your card is not international, all you need is you need to call your bank. They will convert that into international. You may not need to receive a new card or something. Or you can ask someone else to pay for you, and you can pay to them. You cannot make the payment using your NEFT or debit card, online transfer. No. Either you have to send a demand draft, or you will have to send this. Demand draft I am not very sure about, you need to check that with the PMI. When you go to pmi.org, there you can find out. So this is the entire process, right from start to end, and you already know what are the areas you need to focus, how you should study. So any questions, any information that you want?
The payment and all is online only, okay?
All online, everything online. PMI has an office in India in Gurgaon. They have started some 4 years back. So if you have any query, you can contact them regarding the payment or anything. If you want, you can talk to them. You can clarify your doubts. Okay. So if you have no questions, then if you want, you can take a break or distribute these questions, and you can start taking these questions. There are 50 questions, and you'll have 1 hour's time to